morning and welcome to The Point. It is Thursday, May 19th, 2022. Thank you to those of you joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channels 7, 11, and 20. And good morning to the loyal listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9. Thank you for joining us on another episode of To The Point. This is where we get the information that we require. I'm happy to have joining me virtually this morning is a member of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Corporal Cordina Douglas McLean. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Corporal. Appreciate your appearance on the program. I know the force is a busy arm of operations in Grenada, so I'm grateful that you can join us.
Good morning, Blossom, and good morning as well to your listeners. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Yeah, we had a little delay, but I'm hearing you now.
It is indeed a privilege every time. You're hearing me?
Yes.
Great. So as I was saying, it is indeed a pleasure every time we are afforded the opportunity to educate our students. This is one of the drives that we have at present as part of the Forces Strategic Plan, the year 2022. So educating our citizens is one of the arms of the plans going forward. So this morning, we're going to be speaking about the different divisions and departments of the force, and we'll also share the rank structure of the force so that everyone will have an appreciation and a general understanding of the functions.
Okay, we seem to be having some audio issues. There's a lag, a little delay.
Okay, one moment, please. Let me just sort that out.
Okay, no problem. For those of you who are just joining us, Corporal Cordina Douglas McLean of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. This morning we will be looking at the structure of the RGPF, the ranks of the RGPF, the departments of the RGPF, getting to know the operations of the Royal Grenada Police Force just a little bit better. I know it will be beneficial and helpful to me. There are some times that I require information and I'm not sure which department I should go to. And hopefully Corporal Douglas McLean can help shed some light on that, and we can better appreciate the roles and functions of the RGPF. All right, so
we're awesome. Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now. No, the video is a little lagging, but technology will catch up.
Yes. Hopefully. Yes. So as I was saying, that this is a sort of a learning experience this morning, and this does not only serve to inform citizens in general, but also it provides an opportunity for persons who are desirous of joining our ranks to put that information, so that if you were to come through the entire process and you were to reach the level of the interview, have sufficient information being shared here this morning that can help you to be confident in the way you answer questions when you're providing such an opportunity. So I trust that persons are tuned in and they are open and they are willing to learn something this morning.
All right, so let's start with the general or the basic information as it relates to the RGPF and the ranks of the RGPF and the structure. How are officers ranked within the RGPF? Just give us some more information on that.
Okay, so please permit me to share my screen so you can follow as I go through.
Yes.
So, the organization comprises of rank from the rank of Royal Constable up to Commissioner. So you identify a Royal Constable by the shoulder title. As you it's labeled Royal Constable. The shoulder title states RGPF RC, and that simply means Royal Grenada Police Force Royal Constable. They are clad in the blue stripe uniform with the blue shirt, the navy pants, blue stripe, blue shirt, and they wear a shoulder title name RGPF RC. Following them, we have the constables. The constables wear the red stripe. and they carry a number, a regimental number. So, for example, we have regimental numbers 236, and they also carry a shoulder title, RGPF. So, when it comes to those, we have corporal. The corporals, they wear a chevron that has 2 silver bars. They also carry a regimental number, and they also carry the shoulder title, RGPF. Following the corporals, we have sergeants. Sergeants, they wear a 3-bar silver chevron. They carry a regimental number as well, and also the shoulder title. Cadets officer is not a very common one among the ranks. At present, have any, but we do from time to time. They wear the brown uniform as the khaki. They carry 1 bar on the shoulder along with the shoulder title and a regimental number. So that rank is directly above sergeant and underneath the rank of inspector. Following cadet officer, we have inspector. The inspectors, they wear the same brown uniform, the khaki, 2 bars on the shoulder along with the shoulder title, and they carry a regimental number. We go up to the rank of assistant superintendent, and from this rank up, you're considered executive officers, right? So from the rank of assistant superintendent, you lose your regimental number. You give up your regimental number, and it's placed back into a pool. So you carry 2 stars and a shoulder title, and you also wear the brown uniform at that point. Going on to superintendent, they wear a crown and a shoulder title along with the brown uniform. Assistant commissioner, that rank wears 2 stars, 1 wreath, shoulder title, and 2 laurels at the collar of the uniform. They also wear a brown uniform. Adjunct, another uncommon one, blossom. We have in 2007, the rank of adjunct was included in the rank structure of the RGPF. And the function of the adjunct is to commissioner of police. At present, we have an adjunct, and he's attached to port security. So he's overall in charge of port security, and that is in the person of Mr. Doug McKenzie. So the rank of adjunct, they wear 2 stars, 1 bar, 1 wreath, shoulder title, and 2 laurels. We're on to Deputy Commissioner of Police. They wear 3 stars, 1 wreath, 1 shoulder title, and 2 laurels. And last but by no means least, we have the rank of Commissioner of Police, who wears 1 crown, 1 star, 1 wreath, 1 shoulder title, and 2 laurels at the front of the uniform. All these ranks, from the rank of cadet officer up to the rank of Commissioner of Police, they all wear the brown khaki. So that is generally our rank structure.
Just for clarification, what's the difference between a rural constable and a constable?
Okay. So the difference between a rural constable, well, according to law, a rural constable is supposed to be a temporary position. So in times of based on the exigencies of the service, a rural constable will be called up to augment the police force. However, that is not our reality, Blossom. We actually have rural constables performing the job full-time at present. So the difference between them, it is intended to be a temporary position according to law. And also we have the difference in the uniform and some of the duties and the responsibilities of the rural constable, the function of that of the constable. Notwithstanding the fact that we actually have rural constables who perform some of the roles and functions that police constables are expected to perform.
What about the different divisions of the RGPF, as well as which rank of the force is responsible for the different departments or can be responsible for the different divisions?
Great. So allow me to just list some of them briefly, and then we get into the details of it.
Right.
We have 4 divisions. We have the Eastern Division that comprises Grenville Police Station, St. David's, Hermitage, and Birchgrove. So all the areas within that locale, they fall within the Eastern Division. That's their policing area. We move on to the Western Division. We have Grand Royal, Bog, Victoria, Union, and Sutez Police Station. Western Division. We have Central Division, and the Central Division encompasses Central Police Station, Royal Police Station, and South St. George Police Station. The Northern Division comprises Carriacou Police Station, Petit Matney Police Station, and we have a special operational team located at Halfdale that we call Operation Stem Flow. That team comprises of officers attached to Drug Squad, Coast Guard, and CID. Outside of the divisions, we have a number of major departments and units, such as the Criminal Investigation Department, and underneath the Criminal Investigation Department, we have the Criminal Records Office and the Special Victims Unit. We also have the Prosecution Department, Immigration Department, Traffic Department, Drug Squad, Police Headquarters, Community Relations Department, Police Band, the ICT Department, the Post Police Station, the Special Services Unit, Police Training School, Fire Department, Financial Intelligence Unit, Credial Ethnic Task Force, among others. So very briefly, I could just speak on the responsibilities of the area. So the Police Training School, they provide initial recruits training to police entering force. So that is a very critical and important department for us, that it shapes the police and it allows the person coming in to learn what is expected to be performed when you assume the role of a police officer. So that is the first contact that you meet on becoming a member of the RGPA. That's the Police Training School. They are also responsible for continuous training among the rank, up to the rank of Inspector of Police. So they are responsible for initial recruit training and also continuous training from the rank. Further, we have the Criminal Investigations Department, and basically they are responsible for overseeing and investigating serious offenses. So serious offenses such as the grievous harms, the robbery with violence, the rape, and so on. And as I said earlier, the Special Victims Unit, that is that unique unit that deals with specific cases, very sensitive cases, they also form part of that unit. So the sexual offenses and so on, all of these falls under the purview of the Criminal Investigation Department. And then we also have under the CID, the CRO, the Criminal Records Office. And basically, they are responsible for maintaining of all records, criminal or otherwise. So whether or not you have a police conviction or criminal conviction, you can go to the office. That is where you apply for it, whether for a job purpose or for overseas travel, or so you go to that department. They are also responsible for evidence collection, such as fingerprints and crime scene, collection of evidence and record of such important information in a nutshell. And it is important to say that all of the staff, the police, the crime examiners, the crime scene investigators, they are all trained persons. They are all trained and qualified to be attached. So before going into that department, you need to have certain training and certain exposure before you get into full-time evidence collection and fingerprint collecting and so on. We go on to regular police. Earlier I spoke to the divisions. So the divisions consist of the East, West, Central, and Northern. The police that work within these divisions, we consider them, or we refer to them as regular police officers. And it is basically, these officers are responsible for the day-to-day operational basic policing issues. So they will be responsible for patrolling the different areas, responding to calls for service for minor infractions and sort of things. So they're responsible with the same uniform as I do. However, they are responsible as regular policing based on a attachment, right? We go on to the traffic branch, and the traffic branch comprises of officers whose purpose is basically to pay attention to traffic-related issues. So they perform traffic duties, they perform accident investigation, accident prevention, vehicle inspection, safety, a lot of these things. So these are the traffic officers. We have the Grenada Coast Guard, and they are responsible for patrolling our coastal areas, of harbors or territorial waters. They also partner with regional security systems to patrol our territorial seas as well. And typically, they overall doing all of that for law enforcement and also for search and rescue. The special services unit, we have two of these camps, one at Camp Soleil and the other at Camp Reed in Perth. And they are a trained unit specifically to deal with like riot, squad, and jungle operations. At present, we have a team of officers who are released representing our force in the Trade Winds 2022 exercise. So based on their speciality, we were able to send persons over to represent us in that regard. My favorite blossom, the police band, for many reasons. The band, they are responsible for undertaking engagements, ceremonial purposes or official purposes, and from time to time, occasionally they play for private events. When the band is not engaged in rehearsals for these activities, they augment stations and departments such as the regular police or the special services unit perform various duties as well. The prosecution department, they supervise criminal prosecution of cases at the magistrate's court. They are also responsible for executing summonses, warrants, and so on. The community relations department, that's where I am attached. We have a responsibility to develop post policies. We also are responsible for the release of official information. So I want to stick a bit here, Blossom, because sometimes people may say that, oh, I have a friend in the force and they said X, Y, Z to me. So I'm going to take it as the gospel and I'm going to share it on my platform. I'm going to share it with you or so on. And we want people to guard against that because are responsible for sharing official information on this behalf. So anything that does not come from the community relations of the court should not be treated as such. Because every member of the court has the understanding, has that information, and knows that the court has an official department that has such responsibility. So I just want to sound that so that everyone can be on the same page. So any official, any confirmation so that you need to come to one source, and that is the community relations department, because that is one of the functions of our unit. We also have a function of dealing with complaints, addressing complaints from because of. So whether you think that you had an encounter with a police officer and you're not satisfied with that encounter, you have the community relations department where you can come in, file your complaint, and we will look into it, investigate it, and we will look at all the information that is presented, get additional information where required, and we will address it accordingly. We are also responsible for working along with the community. So those policies and so that we have in place, we are to ensure that they are effective and that they reflect the day-to-day needs of the communities that we serve. So we're not going to use a strategy that worked maybe in the 1950s for 2022. So we always have to keep evolving with the times, pay attention to what's trending, and walk along with the time. So we also have that major task on Port Police Station. They're tasked with basically maintaining order at the St. George's Port, order peace and security at the St. George's Port. The Immigration Department, they're responsible for issuing of passport, travel permits, statements, ID, emergency certificate, and provision of immigration services, at the international airport at Point Celine and also at Royston in Cameroon. They are also responsible for providing immigration services at all ports throughout the country. Fire department, last but by no means least at all, very important department for us. The main objective is to save lives and property, and also they do a lot of public education to assist the citizens to be wary of potential fire hazards and so on, and how you can prevent these things from happening. So as you requested earlier, what are some of the ranks that can manage different areas? So the executive, who we refer to from the commissioner down to the assistant commissioners, they are positioned on the police headquarters, and they are responsible for the day-to-day operational and administrative running of the police force. We have the superintendents and the assistant superintendents who are usually in charge of the divisions and major departments and so on, so reporting corporals are usually in charge of police station or second in charge of the divisions and the department. It varies from time to time also, because sometimes where you might find they anticipate that a higher rank should be in charge, that may not be the case based on the circumstances at this time. Of course, we have sergeants and corporals as well who are also in charge of some of the smaller police stations. So it varies, and it is not really cast in stone who is responsible for where or what. So it depends on the department, the needs of the department, and the type of manager that is required to run that department. So it's not really fixed in any sense, right? So we have the superintendents and the assistant superintendents who are usually in charge of the divisions and departments, the major divisions and departments. Of course, that is critical, but at the lower ranks, you may have time a sergeant or a corporal who is in charge of a small police station, such as the Union Police Station, the Grand Road, Birdsgrove. These are the smaller stations. We find that from time to time.
Outside of the big station, how many police stations do we have island-wide, including Carriacou and Petit-Martinique?
I call 16, I believe.
16. And how many, off the top of it, if you are aware, how many police officers do we have within the RGPF?
It's 15 stations. No.
Okay,
15 police stations.
15 stations.
Yes. We're the figures of the police force somewhere in the region of the 1,000.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Let's take a quick break, Corporal, and then we're going to come back and get more into the information. We're speaking with Corporal Cordina Douglas McQueen of the Community Relations Department of the RGPF here on To The Point. We're going to take a quick break and come back and get to know more about the ranks, the departments, the divisions of the RGPF, the lawmen and women who help protect our country. We'll be right back.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel, anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
Vaccine safety is always a top priority. Like other vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccines being developed have been through the same trial phases and rigorous process required for all vaccines.
Welcome back to The Point here on Classic 105. Good morning, whichever platform you're using once again. This morning we are speaking with Corporal Claudina Douglas McLean of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, getting to know the ranks and divisions and departments of the RGPF just a little bit better. Before I get to some of the questions from our viewers and listeners, some of which do not pertain to this morning's conversation. When it comes to running a department as opposed to a division, or running a division as opposed to a police station, how does that differ, one, with the ranks of the RGPF as well as the roles and functions of the officer in charge?
Okay. So, basically, as I alluded to earlier, a lot of factors are needed when the administration, because that is their responsibility and function, basically, to identify persons who are suitable to run a division or a department or police station, especially at the higher ranks. Now, for a divisional commander, if he is looking amongst his rank for someone to be in charge of a police station, for example, look at that person's abilities, how they perform, their leadership quality, among other things, right? The experience as well. So for that level, the divisional commander has that authority to select suitable candidates based on a number of factors. Right? At the higher level, the commissioner and his team, they are looking amongst the rank for a suitable candidate to probably head a division or department. They look at a number of factors as well, some of which that I, at my level, may not be privy to. So a number of things are taken into consideration, such as the experience, probably working in that particular field, the qualifications, the abilities as a leader, and a number of different factors. So I know for what we see from the arm here at this level, we look at certain abilities, and from the higher level, they have their own requirements and their own requirements, for to be selected to be heads of the departments and divisions and stations.
And remind me, what is the highest ranked female in the RGPF? The commissioner, I think was a commissioner. Somebody mentioned it.
That is Superintendent Nola Lewis. That's the highest ranked female at present.
Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to ask our viewers and listeners who may have questions for Corporal Douglas McLean. This is your opportunity to ask them. The landline number 435-2041. The WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. Please, no calls on the WhatsApp. Only written messages, maybe a voice note or two, can be accommodated. You can continue to post your questions on Facebook as well as on the YouTube channel. So let's go to our first caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Johnson.
Morning.
And good morning to the councilman. But I'm 22 years old, and I'm interested in music. If I have to join the police force band, what would be the prerequisite or the pre-qualification? Thank you.
Thank you very much. You got that, Corporal?
Is it they're asking about the entry requirements and police force?
Not the force, but the police band, to be specific.
Oh, the police band. The police band is treated differently in terms of recruitment from the police force. So from the age of 14, the police, they take in cadets at the police band. So when you become a cadet at the band, you're exposed to different instruments, you're taught to play different instruments and so on. So the entry age for cadets is 14 years. You send in an application to the bandmaster. He got a review and sends his recommendation to the Commissioner of Police. So it's at the age of 14. So sometimes, boss, you may see that some may not be so inclined to the conventional way of learning or the normal way of learning. So they're having difficulties for whatever reason, but they may have an inclination to music. So at the age of 14, persons can apply to the band. And from time to time, I'm not sure of the last intake, I believe it is 2019. And we have had persons who from that very young age have in fact joined the band, are still members of the band. For example, Linda Nandan, who blows beautifully on the saxophone, he has been there since that young age. Also, Charles, Prince Shelton. He has also been at the police band from a very, very young age, not 10, but young age. And these people, they've applied themselves, and they're massively successful. So the band differs in terms of age range and the process of coming through the band system.
But what if I missed the entry as a cadet? What if maybe at 19 I've just grown an interest in music / the police band?
No, I said the age for starting is 14.
So if I'm 19, I still have to apply?
At 19.
And I apply at the cadet or I apply for the
you
first?
Apply, well, it is not a cadet at first. It is an apprentice at first. And then you get to be a cadet, and then you're provided an opportunity to become a police officer. So first it's called an apprentice, then it's followed by the cadet, and then followed by the full-fledged member of the police force. So whether you're 14 or you're 18 or you're 21, it is basically the same. But the starting age is 14.
And then from apprentice cadet force, then I could go on to the band.
You are in the band as an apprentice, even if you're trained as a policeman, if you're trained as a police.
Okay, I think I understand. So it's not necessarily that you have to serve, like say in an administrative department. You are still a member of the band, but you just have to go through the ranks.
I'm lost.
No, in relation to joining the band, it's not necessarily that I have to, like, say, work in a police station or in traffic, but I'm a member of the band once I join at the apprentice level.
Well, basically, but once you become a full-fledged member of the force, where you go through the training and so on, you're subject to transfer. So,
okay.
Remember I said earlier that the band, from time to time, they assist regular police, they assist SSU and so on, because they're exposed to that training that other police officers give as well. So it is not, you're not as glued to the band per se. You can move from time to time where the augmentation is needed or where the extra man or the extra boots on the ground are needed. You can be in different places from time to time. And there are some people as well who thought that I've had enough. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to grow in a different area. And they request to be moved to different areas. And you go through, you fit in just as any ordinary police officer because you're exposed to that training. You understand what is required. And you just move on like you go through the ranks, just the same. Yes, Raymond Matthew was a part of the band. Now he's at this position. So we have different persons with this.
All right, let me go to a WhatsApp question. Somebody on WhatsApp asks, can you tell us how someone will be given ranks? Is it by a special board of people not affiliated within the RGPF? And are some of the ranks politically motivated? How does one's education play in getting a rank in the RGPF?
Okay, so at present, this is a very important question because at present, we're going through that process blossom. Last year, COVID kind of threw it off a bit. We started the promotion process. We have a new policy in place whereby we have three different levels that you have to go through, 3 different levels of assessment that each person who is interested in affordability in the RGPF has to go through. So these are, firstly, you do an examination. Everybody's open to the examination. You apply to do the exam, sit the exam. So that exam was held in November and December last year. So followed by an interview. We're presently in the process of interviewing people. So persons are going out by interview of 2 weeks ago. People are going through the process of interview right now. The interview board consists of police officers and 1 person in the public sector. So as we speak, interviews are being held. And the last component will be an assessment, right? So a practical assessment. So at that assessment, persons will be asked to do. You're not asked to say or to write. You're asked to actually do what is required. So that will be the last phase of it. And as I said, we have a policy in place. Guides what ought to happen. We also have a committee that is responsible for ensuring that everything runs. And not because of the fact that we have had hiccups from COVID last year that can draw the process. We hope that it concludes sometime during the course of the same. Bear in mind that we have 3 major activities ahead of us to police. We have Carnival, we have elections, and we also have the hurricane season that is upon us. So all in all, the process is ongoing. And in terms of the political side of it, I don't think we need to answer that because we have a policy in place and the policy guides what happened. On top of the educational background, it is a plus. It is a plus for persons who desire to elevate within the rank structure. And part of that policy also speaks to persons with special skill or special skill that is required or that is needed and is not a common thing in the police force. So, for instance, we have a person, a lady, because office, because of her forensic background and her qualifications, and so she's on par with rank of inspector, I believe, inspector of police. So it depends on the needs of the force at this time. The commissioner also have that authority to make certain recommendations so a person can be elevated based on the need. That is not a common, within the police force. So, for instance, if they want some sort of specialist and a police constable has qualification in that regard, he has that authority based on the new policy that is in place to make certain recommendations to have that person elevated to the rank.
All right, let me see. There's a question on the Facebook before I go back to the landline. Okay, so this one is outside of what we're talking about. Somebody on Facebook asks, what laws are in place to protect officers in case of abuse by citizens?
Okay, well, Blossom, we see things happening from time to time, and everyone goes through the same process. When you commit a crime, when you commit an offense, go through the same channel, as whether it's a civilian against the police, or a civilian against a civilian, or if it's a police against a civilian. Once an investigation is carried out and all the facts to prove the offenses are realized and we have it, so evidence to provide to charge someone that is done. Right? You have certain special offenses that speaks to assault and police and so on. However, it is in a general sense vacuum. Once an offense is committed against a person, then it is considered in a particular way. We also have certain offenses as well that are specific to law enforcement officers. I need to get specific sections, and I can also provide it. We can also put it on our Facebook page. People can have a better appreciation, but I do not have to be formally present because I did not prepare for that. However, I promise that I can get that information and have it provided, probably displayed on our Facebook page, so everybody can have a look at it. But if it is a minor offense problem, it is treated as any other offense. But if it is a major offense, like a murder or some sort of thing along the line, it will be treated differently because this is a police officer or like a judicial officer, something along that line. It differs. But that's a
all right. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp asks, can you give us an insight of the ranks in the RG? No. Thank you for giving us an insight into the ranks of the RGPF, but I'd like to ask a question on the female police officers who had a meeting with Commissioner Martin concerning the alleged sexual abuse by the men in khakis and were displeased with the summary of the meeting with the commissioner, blaming the junior officers who had nothing to do with what was discussed. Please comment.
Well, my comment will be that a meeting was held. It was held under closed doors. So my interpretation of that would be the contents of the meeting should remain hidden. It's up to the commissioner to speak probably to the contents of the meeting, and I believe he did that at a press conference, and the information that was required to be shared with members of the public was shared. And he gave us an assurances, and I think that we need to take him at his word and go along with the information that was presented. I am not in a position to share any information. I am not authorized to share any information coming from that meeting because we need to protect the information that was shared from the persons. You need to protect them, and you also need to protect the privacy of the engagement. So I am not here to divulge any information put it into that meeting. The commissioner spoke on it. He gave required information, And I would appreciate it if we remain at that.
Fair enough. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Blossom.
Morning, Mr. Bido. How you do?
Oh, well, just easy, but not off the best. But anyway, I will start with Corporal Douglas first. On election day, right? I'm appealing to those police who is on duty in the polling station to be careful, right? And make sure that, and don't have no confusion, and make sure nobody ain't go there with bag, because sometimes they might have weapon inside it and it will cause confusion. And I'm finished yet. I'm calling back tomorrow again, you. So, Miss Blossom, you take over and finish it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bido. Have yourself a good day. So he's looking out for the safety of all concerned come June 23rd.
Yes, we assure you that will be done.
Somebody on Facebook asks, how many deputy commissioners of police and assistant commissioners of police are there at the moment? And can you name them, please? Thanks.
Okay, so at present we have 2 deputy commissioners and 1 assistant commissioner at present. The deputy commissioners are Mr. Michael Francois and Mr. Paul Paquet. Our assistant commissioner is Mr. John Bishop.
Okay. Somebody else on Facebook. I was brought up to have respect for people in authority, church parishioners, police officers, the elderly, and so forth. I'm a baby boomer and still show respect to those who earn it. My mantra till death, which brings up the issue of respect for law enforcement. From an actual officer, what's your take on the level of respect meted out to members of the RGPF on a daily basis by our citizens?
Blossom, in all honesty, from my perspective, and from where I sit at the community relations department, I would not term it as a major issue, in that we've had and we've seen certain infractions here and there, certain breakdowns here and there, influenced by various reasons. I believe that these should be stemmed. They should not be tolerated. I believe that person should have respect. It goes both ways. So you have respect for people in authority just the same way people in authority have respect. So we should anticipate that people show us respect, show the respect that our office requires, because you don't look at the person behind the uniform, you look at the uniform of the function of the office, right? So you don't look at the individual and you have the personal grades and so on. So what I'm saying is that I don't see a major issue. While we may have had 1 or 2 unfortunate incidents, we are strongly against 1 or 2. We do not want any of it at all. As much as it can be prevented, we will appreciate that, because the police is not here to fight. The police is not here to be disrespectful. The police is here to work along with the community in accordance to the needs of the community. So we're not here to create a fight or create a war. Also, we want the community to collaborate with us. We want the community to buy into what we notice, some of the issues that we see in the community, some of the issues that we bring to members of the community and they requesting their attention. We anticipate the support of the community, Blossom. We were not here to fight or to push back and forth and so on. We expect that collaboration. We expect that kind of team spirit. We want us to work along together to find solutions to the problems that we face, because we too ourselves are members of the community. Yes, I may come to community relations department and for my function, but at the end of the day, I have to report to my community, whether it's my church community or the actual community that I live in. So we want to work along with the public. We don't want the back and forth, we don't want the disrespect and so on. So we appreciate what we could see when we were growing up and so on. Not saying that there were no incidences at all in these times, but I guess with the invention of technology and so on, it is being widespread, because we can record something happening and share, and it may appear as though we have a grave problem. But I do not term it as that. I see we have 1 or 2 here and there, but I think we just need to work together and achieve that common goal of a safer Grenada.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom. And good morning to you, guests, and good morning to the listening and viewing audience person. First of all, let me start by congratulating this young lady, Miss Douglas here. And great job. She's full of information, knowledge, and she is well educated on all the information there. I can see she reading, and she's not relying on the paper as much to bring across all the information. It's in her head. And I want to say thumbs up and congratulations to her on that. And I also think she should be more than corporal. She should be a sergeant by now for what she's doing. That's just my opinion. To start, Miss Blossom, I want to ask, she had mentioned the two deputy, which I heard, but I missed the assistant. What was his name? Because she echoing a bit. Who was the assistant commissioner?
And Michael Francois.
Yeah, I got that.
The assistant.
John Mitchell.
Oh, John Mitchell. So that's the only assistant commissioner at the moment?
Yes.
What about this guy, Jesmond Prince, also used to be assistant commissioner of police?
He was seconded to the transport board. Unfortunately for us, he was seconded to the transport board.
So he's no longer assistant commissioner of police?
No.
Okay. Well, what I want to ask or comment on, I tuned in a little bit late, yeah? So if I'm asking a question, you explain, sorry about that, but I want you to break it down for me. I know there is the rank and file of the police, which is officers of the position of inspector and below. So inspector and below are rank and file. Isn't it so?
Yes.
Right. And gazetted officers are officers of the position of assistant superintendent and above.
Yeah.
At what level it's cut off to? Deputy or assistant commissioner?
For the gazetted officers?
For the gazette, yes, sir.
Okay, so gazetted officers are officers above the rank of assistant superintendents, right? And the gazetted officers, for instance, the gazetted officers at the ASP and the superintendent level, they are appointed by the Public Service Commission. The other levels, the deputy, the assistant, and the commissioner, they are appointed by the Governor General. Well, the deputy, the commissioner, he's appointed by the Governor General. The deputies and the assistant commissioner, they are appointed by the Governor General on advice by the Public Service Commission.
Well said, I understand that. So the gazetted, at what level do it reach? When it starts from assistants, what level do it stop to make them gazetted? Is it the commissioner part of the gazetted or the deputy?
So the law says officers of and above the rank of assistant superintendent. So assistant superintendent, right up the road.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for the clarification, and my young lady, keep up the good works. Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Somebody else, you have a lot of commendations. There was somebody on Facebook that noted the same thing, including that you should be higher than corporal. And somebody else on WhatsApp says, I just want to compliment the young officer and her department on the way she handled herself on the program this morning. This is a plus for the commissioner and the force. So you have numerous commendations coming in this morning.
I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the feedback.
And I concur. You're very well handled yourself this morning. Somebody on WhatsApp asks, can you explain the term 2IC?
Oh, 2IC is basically a short way of saying the person's second in charge. So IC will be 2, second, I in charge, second in charge.
Facebook.
About police jargons. Maybe Blossom, sometime we can come back with some of the jargons. Like I missed that part this morning. Yes. So we'll call people as CPL, as a corporal, as SGT, as sergeant, PC, police constable, COP, commissioner of police, this sort of thing. DCOP, deputy commissioner of police, ACP, assistant commissioner, and so on. So probably I left that bit about somehow. But
that's okay.
The police jargons, probably when we have in another program that kind of will be able to fit it in, we could probably slot it in and have it listed.
Somebody on Facebook asks, when With the finding of weapons in students' school bags, do you think it is possible for a police officer to be placed at secondary schools, at least on mornings, to do bag searches?
That is, I will say this. We understand that some schools, they have security guards, but we understand that the police force has its own areas of responsibility to cover. We do, from time to time, go to schools, right? So we've had like the school crossings and pop-up checks. We pop in at the schools and we do random searches, we do random checks and so on. It may not be fitting at this time based on some of the exigencies of the service and all of the areas that we need to cover. It may not be possible at this time to have a police officer every morning assigned to a school to search back. We believe that everyone in society has a responsibility to ensure that we avoid these sort of occurrences happening from the home to the bus to the people who encounter on the street. So everybody has an important role to play in terms of having children on the right path so that when they reach the school gate, they do not show up with these sort of weapons and so on that sends the wrong message. And I believe that the police alone in this cannot solve the problem. Everyone, all hands are needed on deck to tackle this problem. And we are doing our part, and we encourage the citizens to do their part to ensure that in the end, our children are a part of the safer Grenada that we're trying to build and trying to achieve.
The final question we can accommodate this morning, somebody on WhatsApp asks, can you give us a highlight on the RGPF in Carriacou and PT Martinique and the daily operations there, seeing as there's no immigration department where people entering the sister isle can be stopped?
Okay, so Carriacou and PT Martinique, it's no different from what we do on the mainland. In fact, we do have immigration officers assigned to the station in Carriacou, headed by Sergeant Nicholas, Women Sergeant Portia Nicholas. And they do perform immigration functions both at the port and at the airport in Launceston. So I'm not sure if the person is referring to probably have like a building, or I'm not sure what they're referring to, but we do have officers responsible for immigration, and performing immigration duties out there.
Final thoughts this morning, Corporal, as we wrap up the program.
Generally, I trust that the information that we shared here this morning would have enlightened our listeners or viewers, and so I trust that persons are in a better position to understand or to decide or to know which station, which department they need to go to for a particular issue. So if you have a complaint against a police officer, you come to the Community Relations Department. If you have a serious crime, something of a sexual nature, you go to the Special Victims Unit, you go to the Criminal Investigation Department. If you need a passport, you go to the Immigration Office. You're able to identify the ranks. So when you see me on the street, you say, hey, that's Corporal McLean, that's Constable whoever. So you have a better appreciation, a better understanding of the police force and our rank structure, or divisions, or departments, or stations. I trust that persons who are desirous of becoming members of the force, they want to fight a lot, so that in the event that they are presented an opportunity to become a member of the force, when they're at the interview level, they can speak fluently. They can be confident with their answers because they learned quite a bit this morning. Though simple, it is a lot. And I trust that information will help somebody in some way in all that they're endeavoring to do. So I welcome the opportunity, and I thank you for having me this morning, Welcome. And I look forward to continuing on this educational drive as we strive to make a safer Grenada.
Thank you very much, Corporal McLean, for always being informative and always riveting discussion speaking with you. Appreciate your appearance on the program this morning. Enjoy the rest of your Thankful Thursday. And that would bring us to the end of To The Point. We thank Corporal McLean for being our guest this morning, and thank you, viewers and listeners, for joining us on the program. It's always a pleasure. It's time for me to head on out and make way for GT, who's up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Have yourselves an enjoyable and thankful Thursday. Remember to give thanks to the Most High for the things that you have and the things that you don't have. I'll be back tomorrow morning, God willing. Until then, stay safe and enjoy the day.